disclosed that the state government received information that the EFCC had issued a post-no debit directive to First Bank, where several government accounts are maintained, effectively restricting transactions on the accounts. He maintained that although the EFCC possesses the authority to investigate financial transactions, it does not have the power to freeze a state government account without first obtaining a court order. In a statement issued earlier by the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolakbo Alimi, the governor described the reported action as lacking legal justification and alleged that it was intended to disrupt government activities ahead of the August 15 governorship election.
A businessman, Benga Collins, has told the House of Representatives at a committee investigating the alleged establishment and operations of the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, PFIPC, that he paid 400 million naira to the council's embattled Director General, Adeniyi Adeyemi, to facilitate the award of a contract. Collins made the allegation today while appearing before the committee probing the activities of the controversial council. According to him, Adeyemi later handed him a contract award letter, the scope of work, and an agreement authorizing his company to execute the renovation and furnishing of the Director General's official residence. Chairman of the other committee, Yusuf Gagdi, said Adeyemi's continued absence from the hearings was because he is currently in police custody and is also being investigated by anti-graft agencies. Gagdi disclosed that the committee plans to meet with Adeyemi discreetly as part of its ongoing investigation.
The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has given the Ogun State government and security agencies a 72-hour ultimatum to rescue 5 abducted students of Gateway ICT Polytechnic, Sakpade, arrest those responsible for the killing of a student of DS Adegbenro ICT Polytechnic, Itori, and tackle the growing insecurity around tertiary institutions in the state. The students' body warned that it would embark on sustained peaceful protest around Ogun State if its demands were not met within the stipulated period. NANT also called on the state government to send delegation to condole with the family of Ahmed Sekinat, the DS Adegbenro ICT Polytechnic student killed during a robbery attack, and visit another student receiving treatment for gunshot injuries at the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta. The demands were made today during a press conference at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Secretariat in Abeokuta by the Secretary General of NANS, Oladimeji Uthman. According to him, students across Ogun tertiary institutions now live in fear because of persistent cases of kidnapping, armed robbery, cult violence, rape, and other criminal activities.
The Federal Capital Territory FCT Police Command has raided a suspected bandits hideout in Danjin Mandam Forest, recovering 2 FN file rifles and live ammunition. The command said the operation followed intelligence from investigations into a suspected arms trafficking syndicate allegedly supplying weapons and ammunition to criminal groups. The Police Public Relations Officer of the command, SP Josephine Ade, disclosed this today, saying operatives of the anti-kidnapping units carried out the operation. Ade said the operation was based on information provided by one of the suspects, Musbahu Ishaq, who was among 4 suspects earlier arrested for alleged involvement in the supply of arms, ammunition, and illicit substances to bandits. The police spokesperson said investigations were ongoing to arrest other members of the syndicate, recover more arms linked to the network, and prosecute all suspects.
The State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected armed robbers and recovered a locally fabricated pistol during an intelligence-led operation in Ibadan. The suspects were apprehended on Monday afternoon by operatives of the Oluyole Divisional Headquarters while carrying out a routine stop-and-search operation around the Rema Bridge area of Oluyole Police say the 3 suspects were intercepted while riding on a Bajaj motorcycle. A search of their belongings led to the recovery of a cut-to-size locally fabricated pistol and an axe concealed inside a black school bag. According to the police command, preliminary investigations revealed that the suspects are members of the Aye and Eye cult groups and have reportedly confessed to involvement in a series of violent crimes, including armed robbery. The command says investigations have been intensified to determine the full extent of the suspects' criminal activities and to track down other members of the syndicates.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oluyole State, Ibadan. The Oluyole State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning has disclosed that the state recorded a 77.5% revenue performance in the implementation of its 2026 budget during the first half of the year, covering January to June. The Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musiba Babatunde, announced this in Ibadan while delivering the keynote address at a presentation of the 2026 half-year budget implementation report on revenue and expenditure to stakeholders. Presenting the 2026 half-year budget implementation report on revenue and expenditure to stakeholders, the Secretary to the State Government disclosed that the Oluyole State Government will soon take delivery of 50 electric buses to enhance public transportation and reduce commuting costs for residents across the state. Speaking on security, Professor Babatunde said the Oluyole State Government has adopted an integrated approach to strengthening the state's security architecture while creating a safe and conducive environment for investment, ease of doing business, and increased revenue generation. Earlier in his opening remarks, the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Barrister Ayobami Ojo, disclosed that Oluyole State recorded an aggregate revenue performance of 47.9% of its approved 2026 annual budget, while total expenditure stood at 38.8% between January and June 2026. In a goodwill message, the Oluyole State Head of Service, Dr. Adenike Fashino, said the mid-year budget performance report for January to June 2026 is necessary to know the extent of what has been achieved in the 2026 Appropriation Act.
The Oyo State Youth Parliament has adopted a motion calling on the state government to fast-track the implementation of the proposed Oyo State's Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, to equip young people with digital and technological skills needed to compete in the global economy. The resolution was reached during the 3rd Assembly, second sitting of the Oyo State Youth Parliament, organized by the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development at Emmanuel Alayode College of Education, Oyo. Our reporter, Folashade Akintola, reports.
The second sitting of the Third Assembly, which had the Speaker Honorable Marvelous Oyekola presiding, began with the election of principal officer to strengthen the leadership structure of the Youth Parliament. Honorable Lukman Jamiu, representing Repo Oluyole State constituency, emerged as the majority chief whip, while Honorable Esther Egbeleke, representing Shaki West constituency, was elected minority leader. Other officers elected were Honorable Yusuf Boyega of Ibadan South East constituency 2 as deputy minority leader, Honorable Lanwadi Fatia of Akinyele constituency 2 as deputy majority leader, and Honorable Adewuyi Stephen of Ibarakpa East constituency as minority chief whip. The major highlight of the sitting was the consideration of a motion urging the accelerated implementation of the Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DRT. Presenting the motion, Honorable Abdulrazak Tiamiyu, representing Ibadan North East Constituency 1, recalled that the Oyo State House of Assembly had earlier directed its committees on information, media, ICT, and public affairs to develop a visibility and implementation blueprint for the initiatives. He explained that the committee found the project viable through the upgrade of the existing Youth Development Center into digital innovation hubs across the state, where young people will receive training in software development, cybersecurity, data science, digital marketing, mobile application development, and other emerging technology fields.
The Oyo State House of Assembly, through the Committee on Finance, Appropriation and State Economic Planning, to ensure necessary budgetary provision for the takeoff and sustainability of Oyo DTRI.
Contributing to the debate, the Deputy Speaker of the Youth Parliament, Honorable Fatia Afolabi, representing Ibadan Southwest Constituency 2, described digital technology and artificial intelligence as indispensable tool for innovation, youth empowerment, and economic development. She, however, proposed an amendment to ensure that Ibarapa zone is included in the implementation plan, stressing that young people in the area should also benefit from access to digital skill acquisition center.
Conclusively, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the House wants to move forward, and I believe that the House wants to see youths in Oyo State move forward. The urgent thing to follow up on this resolution is as urgent as it sounds. So, and I believe that every other member here would agree with me that this motion needs to be adopted by this House.
Following extensive deliberations, members unanimously adopted the motion, reaffirming their commitment to policy that promotes youth development through technology and innovations. In separate goodwill messages, the chairman of the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development, Prince Adebowale Falana, and the member representing Oyo East, Oyo West at State House of Assembly, Honorable Rahman Olongbotu, commended the quality of the debates and the maturity displayed by the youth lawmaker. They urge members to remain actively engaged with their constituency, identify developmental challenges within their communities, and continue to use Youth Parliament as an effective platform for constructive dialogues and policy advocacy.
They should be good ambassador of the good youth who will represent their various constituency, and at the same time they should be more of IT compliance. Again, in my message, I've told them that unity is very, very key in what they're doing, and the agency will stand by them in anything they're doing.
Yeah, is that they should spend their time getting closer to the people, getting the right information that will lead to the development of the different constituencies they represent, and use the instruments of the Youth Parliament to pass that such information to the government.
The sitting was later adjourned after the majority leader, Honorable Isaac Akinola, moved the motion for adjournment, which was seconded by the minority leader, Honorable Esther Egbelike. The Oyo State Youth Parliament reaffirmed its commitment to advancing youth-centered legislative initiatives and policy recommendation aimed at fostering inclusive governance, digital innovation, sustainable development across the state. Folashade Akintola, BCS News.
29-year-old Boluwati Febabalola has so far received about £500,000 naira in support of the estimated 45 million naira required for her kidney transplant. However, the donations received have largely been expended on her frequent dialysis sessions and other medical needs as she continues to battle for survival while awaiting the life-saving procedure. Our reporter Adiola Ladili tells the story.
29-year-old Boluwati Febabalola walked into the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, about 2 months ago, seeking not employment or an opportunity, but a chance at survival. Her life took an unexpected turn shortly after completing her studies in 2024, when she was diagnosed with a severe kidney-related illness. Since then, she has been battling the condition, relying on regular dialysis sessions and blood transfusions to stay alive, while hoping for a permanent solution.
I'm 29 years old and I graduated from Dominion University. So it happened like 2024 October, the week to my convocation. I was supposed to go for my convocation that week. I just noticed that my stomach was heavy, as in it looked swollen, but I didn't even count it as anything. So people said it is blood, so they took me to the hospital. So when I got there, they said they gave me 2 pounds of blood, was still the same thing. So they referred me to UCH. So when I got to emergency at UCH, after like 2 days, they diagnosed me of kidney failure.
According to her, medical experts have recommended an urgent kidney transplant as the only viable option to save her life. However, the procedure and other associated medical expenses are estimated at about 45 million naira, a sum far beyond the reach of her family. Our appeal has attracted support from kind-hearted Nigerians, with donations amounting to about 500,000 naira so far. However, much of the money has been used to offset the cost of her frequent dialysis sessions and other medical expenses. leaving her still in urgent need of financial assistance.
You say that as soon as possible because of the dialysis is too much. So I should try to get the transplant done as quick as possible. I want people to help me because even all my family, because it's not easy for them. As all of them, they don't know what to do again. Even every day, mommy used to cry. Every day, she cried every day because she said I'm too young for all this. So we don't even know where we want to get the money. I just want people to help me. It's God help I need now. I need people's help. It's people help and God help. That's all my only hope now. There's no other hope for me.
While expressing appreciation for the support received, Boluwatife says she still requires funds to sustain her dialysis treatment pending the transplant surgery. She therefore continues to appeal to well-meaning Nigerians, corporate organizations, philanthropists, and charitable groups to come to her aid, as the amount raised so far remains far below what is needed to save a life. Individuals willing to support a kidney transplant and ongoing medical care can contact the News and Current Affairs Department of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, or make their donations through these account details. Account number 02-198-10778, 02-198-10778. The bank name, Guarantee Trust Bank, GTB. Every contribution not only offers hope for the life-saving surgery, but also helps sustain the treatment, keeping her alive while she awaits a second chance at life. Adeola Oladele, BCOS News.
On the foreign scene, Guatemala has raised its highest danger warning to red and evacuated about 1,700 residents as the Fuego volcano continues to erupt, spewing ash, lava, and volcanic mud flows. Authorities say the next 72 hours will be critical, with heavy rainfall expected to worsen conditions and thousands more affected by a harsh fall. Foreign Desk Editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story and others as presented by Khadija Lawal.
Roughly 1,700 people are still in shelters, and officials say the next 72 hours will be critical. According to the country's disaster agency CONRED, evacuations of nearby villages will stay in place until conditions improve. Mud flows up to 7 kilometers long continue descending from the volcano, with incoming rain expected to increase the risk of additional volcanic mud flows. The volcano erupted on Monday, sending gas, ash, lava and pyroclastic flows down the volcano slopes, and continued into Tuesday with fresh emissions of mud and ash. CONRED raised the alert to red in 3 municipalities, Zacatepecas, Escuintla and Chimaltenango, where about 29,000 people are affected by ashfall. CONRED's executive director, Claudine Orgades, advised residents in the 3 red alert municipalities to cover their water deposits and use face masks as protection from ash, even though no mud flows have reached villages yet and no structures have been damaged. A major highway that passes close to the volcano, National Route 14, was closed. Schools will also see disruption as the Education Ministry suspended classes in nearby towns. Meanwhile, authorities in California have arrested a man who was seen near a golf course owned by President Donald Trump in the Los Angeles area ahead of the president's visit for a fundraising dinner there. Ginayan Till, 38, was found with a pistol and illegal ammunition at the Trump National Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes, investigators say. According to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, throughout the golf course grounds, taking photographs and videos, appearing to monitor security planning activities. The arrest took place on Sunday afternoon. Authorities searched him and found he was carrying a 16-round magazine containing hollow point ammunition. In his vehicle, which was parked at the golf course, they found a loaded pistol along with a loaded magazine containing hollow point ammunition. Trump is currently visiting California to attend a Republican Party fundraising dinner at the course on Tuesday. Till is being held on charges of carrying a concealed firearm and possession of armor-piercing and prohibited ammunition. Khadija Lawal, BCOS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the top stories. The Osun State government has commenced legal action against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) following the freezing of its bank accounts.
The Oyo State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning has disclosed that the state recorded a 77.5% revenue performance in the implementation of its 2026 budget during the first half of the year, covering January to June.
The Oyo State Youth Parliament has adopted a motion calling on the state government to fast-track the implementation of the proposed Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, to equip young people with digital and technological skills needed to compete in the global economy.
On the foreign scene, Guatemala has raised its highest danger warning to red and evacuated about 1,700 residents as the Fuego volcano continues to erupt, spewing ash, lava, and volcanic mud flows.
If you see something suspicious, alert the authorities immediately for a timely response. Be vigilant. That's all from the Newscope desk for now. It was packaged by Helen Fagbemi and delivered by
Oluyole Oluyole
and Ido Shekoni. Thanks for listening, and do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.